Howdy, everyone. Okay, so I've moved on to what are these called? Aileron push rod seals. So I'm moving on to installing these seals. And this was an option that I had bought with my interior kit. And there are two of these aluminum rings, and they have some foam on them. And there is some double-sided, or not double-sided, but this is some foam strips that have sticky tape on the back side, some pop rivets, written instructions, and then again, these are kind of like the stick boots. It's the exact same idea. This is vinyl. It's a lightweight vinyl, and you can see it comes pre-populated with some tie wraps, a zipper. This one is unzipped just for a little show and tell. So I'm getting ready to, I'm in process of installing these rings. And of course, the idea is when the wing is in place, it stops short of the fuselage. The wing does not butt up against the fuselage. There's a gap in here that's going to be, I'm just guessing, 6-7 inches. And there's a possibility that when the plane is flying, that you're going to get cold air coming in through who knows what. Could very easily pass through this hole and into the cockpit. Now, this hole, of course, is for the push-pull tube for the wing aileron. So this is just a method of, again, basically attaching a stick boot to that moving push-pull tube to seal it so you don't get cold air rushing through here. So the instructions are very clear, but since I'm doing the work, I'll go over it as I go through it. If I can go to the other side. So the first thing you need to check is when you build the center section, there's a rib in here. Well, you can't see. Well, yeah, you can. So you can see where I've got this flange in place. This right here is a rib, right? This rib, just like this one and just like this one, they're identical. This rib is up against, it's up against your outer skin. But there should be a gap between them right here. There's a gap right in here. So you want to make sure that this gap is around 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And the instructions talk about you can put a screwdriver in here and kind of pry the outer skin and the inner rib. You can pry them apart a little bit to make sure that you've got a good gap about 1/8 of an inch all the way around. Once you have that established, it's just a matter of taking the ring. So let me show this a little bit more in detail here. So here is the ring. It's just aluminum, nothing fancy. It's got a couple of holes in it here for the pop rivets. So you just take the ring and you squeeze it down to compress it. I can't do this one-handed very easily. There we go. You just take the ring and you squeeze it down, and you fit it into the gap that I was just talking about. And you'll note that there is a flat side to the ring. This is the flat portion here. That flat portion coincides with the flat part of let me go on the other side. The flat part of the hole, because of the rib right here. So that flat part of the ring goes into here, and then the rest of the ring populates around. So I have this ring in, This is obviously from the outside of the airplane. What's up? So you can see the flat part of the ring here, and then the rest of it goes on around, and it's insulated a little bit with the foam. And then the inside view is right there. So again, this is the flat part that goes up toward the spar, and then the rest of it just fits in between this seat rib and the skin of the airplane. And it was very easy to do. I was surprised. So like I said, you just compress the ring, get it in. Once it's in, then you can start pushing on it and make sure that it's seated all the way around the hole. And then the pre-drilled holes here, these two, you can put a cleco in, and then you pop rivet it. So that's what I'm getting ready to do now. I'm going to go ahead and pop rivet these two together. And that's as far as I've gotten so far. But to this point, it's been very easy, very simple. And like I said, the instructions are very clear. But since I'm here, I might as well go ahead and show you guys what I'm up to. So let me move on with this a little bit, and I'll talk to you guys here in a second. Alrighty, well, that's about it for this pushrod seal stick boot type of thing. You can see I've got the boot now in place, and again, it's very simple. You just slip the boot over the flange, make sure that it's tight up against the side of the fuselage, and then you pull the zip tie tight through itself, and then cut off the end. Here's a view from the outside. So pretty straightforward, pretty simple. I'll come back over here for a second. So again, this is the flange, right? And then the boot just goes over that flange. Boot goes over the flange, and then you feed the zip tie through itself, pull it tight, cut off the end. So then, let me back up. Sorry, I forgot one thing. So this, after the ring is in place and you've got it pop riveted, you take the longer piece of this thin foam and you wrap it around the flange, and then you put the boot over top of that and then pull it tight with the zip tie. So then the next thing that you're supposed to do is fit the shorter piece of foam to the actual push-pull tube itself, and then cinch down the small end of the boot around the push-pull tube. Of course, I can't do that because I don't have my wings on and I don't have the push-pull tube. So this is all that I can do for now. That's it. So when I get the push-pull tube run through it, I can unzip it, put that foam around the tube itself, and then cinch this end to the foam on the tube. So that will be someday down the road. So I'll move on to that other side. I'll do that one, and then try to figure out what to do next. All right. Talk to you guys later.